him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
So she knew he was going to be at Fashion Week. She fucking lied. I told y'all niggas, man. I told y'all in the other video. She said, I didn't even know he was going to be at Fashion Week. And then Piers Morgan, she said, oh, he was about to walk at Fashion Week, but he got arrested.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now, it's the right time, it's the right sound, right now, till the whole pipe down, till the nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne. We'll break down this clip of Piers Morgan when she talked about Clavicular on Piers Morgan, and we'll get up out of here. I think we've covered it extensively, though.
Things get taken out of context, but that's the world we live in. That's the nature of our job and being online and people having to
world authority on somebody. He got arrested.
All right, here we go.
Certainly is. Now, you are a world authority on somebody called Clavicular, who I have to say hasn't brushed.
So notice how when Piers Morgan brought up Clavicular's name, and this is 24 minutes into the interview, look how she reacts. So giddy, so happy, so what? Not a married woman acting so happy and giddy when another man's name is brought up. What the fuck?
World authority on somebody called Clavicular, who I have to say hasn't brushed my life particularly. He got arrested at the weekend. First of all, who is Clavicular? I only know him because he was in that ridiculous van with Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, and the others in Miami. But who is Clavicular, and why is he being arrested?
All right, so Pierce, Clavicular is a young man. I believe his name is Brayton, but he goes by Clavicular. And
oh, I believe now. Girl, you know this man's name. Get the fuck out of it. She trying to act like she don't know the nigga now.
He is a looks maxer. Do you know what looks maxing is?
No. Educate me.
Oh my God, bro. She's so in awe with this topic. Like, she really likes that shit, bro.
So looks maxing is this trend online where you are trying to make yourself look as physically attractive as possible. And it's basically like I'm taking autonomy for my well-being and how I look, and I'm going to try to elevate my perceived status through the way that I look. And at the beginning, when I first saw this taking off and saw people saying they're looks maxing, like the videos are kind of, cute. It's these guys who were maybe kind of awkward in high school.
The videos were cute. Talking about other men looks maxing. Lord have mercy.
And then over the course of a couple of years, they start to care about their skin and their style, and they get a new haircut, they hit the gym, they're eating healthy, they're looks maxing. Clavicular takes this to the extreme here. So he does something, for example, called bone smashing, where he takes a hammer to the jaw, and he believes that by fracturing, doing these like minute fractures on his jaw, it allows the jaw to grow back stronger and he's able to reform it. The most hilarious thing, which I definitely made fun of on my show, is that he puts, now you have daughters. I don't know if this is, inappropriate to say, you're also married, but there are these things called sticky boobs that women wear. Like if you're wearing like a strapless top, you put on like a little sticky boob.
So now she's trying to use the most sensational things that he's done or shown on stream to, make fun of him in this way.
Bra. He puts those on his shoulders to try to make himself look more muscular. I'm not kidding. They're like chicken cutlets.
God, I'm learning so much here, Brett.
No, you're so welcome. This is your education. So he puts these under his shirt, but the most egregious thing is that he very openly does drugs. He talks about doing meth in order to help him fast so that he can lose weight. He takes Adderall, and these are all things that he talks about very openly, and he is 20 years old. He is talking about using illicit, illegal drugs on his live streams every single night. So honestly, it's like a wonder that he has not been arrested prior to this. And my first episode that I did about him when I discovered him is I was saying, like, especially to parents, like, this is the content that your kids online are consuming. Like, we can be able to look at this and go, this is hilarious and ridiculous. but there are people that are taking it seriously, that are wanting to take his advice.
Right.
That was my concern with it, especially for young impressionable minds. So that's clavicular, and the name clavicular comes from the clavicle, and this idea with looks maxers that having like a big, strong, prominent clavicle is like a sign of peak attractiveness. So he goes by clavicular, I guess. But yes, he was arrested. He went to a frat party at ASU over the weekend. And interestingly, you might find this funny, Pierce.
So here's a clip of him thug maxing by catching felony charges. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, people are saying that the frat boys set him up because he was taking too many of their bitches. That's what I heard. Word on the street. So don't quote me on it, but that's what I heard.
Having a profile done of him by the New York Times, and the only way that he agreed to let the New York Times do the profile was if they live streamed the entire interview on Kick. So if you go back, you can watch an entire New York Times journalist interviewing him for like hours. And it's honestly a smart move, because if they take anything out of context, he has thousands of people that were, watching it on stream. But that also, is a pitfall, because he was filmed. He had a prescription pill in his pocket, and I don't think he had the prescription on him. I don't know if he even has a prescription for it. He was also using a fake ID. They arrested him. Now the fake ID charge has been upped to a forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him.
He already left Arizona, but I mean, he got a lot of those charges dropped. So this is kind of like old news, but the fact that she knows so much about this man and is so interested in his looks maxing movement is concerning for a married woman.
Him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
So she knew he was going to be at Fashion Week. She fucking lied. I told y'all niggas, man. I told y'all in the other video. She said, I didn't even know he was going to be at Fashion Week. And then Piers Morgan, she said, oh, he was about to walk at Fashion Week, but he got arrested, so he ain't gonna get to walk. Hee hee, ha ha ha. I got the tea on it. And then when you got confronted, oh my God, she did know. Damn, this bitch is a liar. And I told you, it's always like the sweet looking ones, the ones who present themselves in like the most honorable way. Those are the ones who you gotta watch. This bitch is sneaky. And her husband is none the wiser, but she's so sneaky, and we just proved it. In the last video that we watched, where she was recapping the New York Fashion Week, she was trying to act like she didn't know Clavicular was going to be there. But then in this Piers Morgan video that was 6 days before Fashion Week, she said, oh, and, mind you, they filmed it. They filmed this video before they put it out, a couple days before they put it out. So, essentially, she knew that Clavicular was going to be on Fashion Week, and maybe she could have made the alibi of, oh, well, because he got locked up, I didn't think he would actually be there. But she saw his charges get dropped. Let's not act like she ain't on the internet and seen all that. So she knew he was going to be there, and then she acting like she didn't know she was going to be there, and she said it in the other video. But we have it in 4K that she knew he was going to be there, and she knew before even we knew he was going to be there.
Forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
Exclusive tea, but girl, in the other video, you said you didn't know he was going to be at Fashion Week. So which one is it?
So he's not going to be able to do that because he's stuck in Arizona. He's not allowed to do any drugs or be drinking. He has to be sober. So maybe we'll start seeing sober maxing instead of looks maxing. So yeah, that is Clavicular. And basically overnight, he has become this viral sensation. And the language, this is also really interesting to me. He's basically created his own language on social media with words like clavicular and looks maxing. And he's not really a political figure, but all of his politics are based on how attractive you are. So you might have seen the viral.
What about this word?
Yes.
What about this other word I've heard? Mogging. Okay. What is mogging?
Yes, okay, well, that's what I was going to bring up, is that mogging means that you are like beating somebody with your attractiveness.
And she understands that Clavicular mogs her husband, and that's why she's so obsessed with this guy. Especially not in lieu of, no, especially because he made sexual passes at her. I promise you, that got her turned on. The fact that he made sexual passes at her multiple times on stream got her turned on. She watches his stream. She knows everything that's going to be about it. She probably has her manager put a private investigator on him to know his whereabouts, and the industry talks. So she knew he was going to be at Fashion Week. Let's stop the cap.
So, for instance, he said he doesn't want to vote for JD Vance if he is the candidate in a couple of years because Gavin Newsom mogs JD Vance. Gavin Newsom has a better jawline, is more in shape, so that's what Clavicular cares about. And so there was an especially viral clip where he walked into this ASU frat party and he was on his stream, and an ASU frat leader frame mogged him. And frame mogged apparently means that his body was, I guess, better, was more in shape than Clavicular.
Oh, you guess? So you didn't watch that clip, but you guess his body was better, more in shape, he had a larger frame. Get the fuck out of here, girl. You are not slick. We already caught you in a lie.
And so anyway, it's a whole thing. It's ridiculous, Pierce. And so if your children start saying mogged, maxing, if they start saying, foid is another one. It's a term for women. Foids will come up to Clavicular. It is it's incredible how quickly these viral trends can take hold and how quickly these terms can just be inserted into the lexicon. So anyway, that's Clavicular. It's crazy. So stay tuned. We'll see.
I mean, my issue with all those guys, I've interviewed Andrew Tate a number of times. I've interviewed his brother Tristan. I've interviewed Fuentes, obviously, Sneeko briefly.
And we saw Pierce go through his bullshit where he broke his hip or something, and his wife didn't even want to take care of him. So it's bro, you have no voice on the subject of masculinity, big dog. You have no room to talk. You are in the cuck chair, big dog. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? It's just Pierce, you don't have no room to talk. Your wife wanted to leave you after you broke your hip. She was not for sickness and through sickness and in health. She was about to leave your ass. So y'all love talking about how the red pill is off center and we don't know what we're talking about and we're fringe and we're radical, but we're literally just outlining and painting the picture of what modern women are doing on an everyday basis. And we have the facts, the videos, the tweets, the TikToks, the everything to back it up.
With Kenya and a kind of farcical thing.
So he's going to get into the Andrew Tate bullshit now. I want to go back to when Brett Cooper said that he got arrested and she knew he was going to be on Fashion Week.
That also, was a pitfall because he was filmed. He had a context. He streamed the entire interview on Kick. So if you go back, you can watch an entire New York Times journalist interviewing him for hours. And it's honestly a smart move because if they take anything out of context, he has thousands of people that were, watching it on stream. But that also, is a pitfall because he was filmed. He had a prescription pill in his pocket, and I don't think he had the prescription on him. I don't know if he even has a prescription for it. He was also using a fake ID. They arrested him. Now the fake ID charge has been upped to a forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I...
Okay, so again, Brett Cooper said she didn't know that he was going to be at Fashion Week. And look at the face she's making now. Come on. This is she's just so happy to talk about him. I'm not even going to say what that face looked like, but she tried to make it seem like she didn't know he was going to be at Fashion Week. So let me prove to you that she lied.
That is what we're doing. So come along. Last night, you might have seen on X, I went to Elena Velez's fashion show for New York Fashion Week. And when I was planning out this entire week, because I have a bunch of events here this week and I'm doing Fox and all that stuff, I specifically intended and planned to do today's episode, Saturday's episode, on that experience, my first ever fashion show, and why I think Elena Velez is such a unique designer that often faces so much backlash in the mainstream industry. But the show itself and the attendees and the models are getting a lot of traction online. So I thought we should start out by discussing that because yes, you might have seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually closed the show. He was the last model to walk on the runway. And yes, I got to meet him. Cue the screeching online from angry men. You might have seen it if you've been on X. So sorry to have ruined your day, but yes, I did meet Clavicular.
I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Now, the whole thing was just crazy to experience, but honestly, in my opinion, I think it was really smart of Elena because she brought Clavicular in. He's obviously having this huge moment online. She basically let him stream everything from the fitting to hair and makeup to actually walking on the show. Like, we were sitting front row watching, and like his camera guys were walking like with him and filming the crowds. Like, they were completely involved. And so all of this exposed Clavicular's fans, the tens of thousands of people watching him on Kick, the people clipping his videos on X, they exposed them to Elena and to Fashion Week in general. Just opened them up to a whole new world. And I will say, this is not the first time that a streamer has walked in a fashion show, but she really gave him free reign and gave him free access, which was very, very cool to see. Now,
yeah, and that right there made him the contextual alpha at New York Fashion Week, and she saw how much power, how much influence that he had, and that is what really turned her on. Yes, the looks maxing helped, but it's the fact that he got famous for being attractive. That's what's the most important thing. The clout mixed with the looks, because it's not just the looks, it's the clout on top of the looks.
in addition to Clavicular, she also had my friend Liv Schmidt walk in the show. She is the girl, I talked about her on comment section a couple of years ago, but she was literally kicked off of TikTok. She was banned on TikTok because she has this thing called motion control. And of TikTok, she was dropped. She was like covered in Vogue by B. She also had a detransitioner in the show magazine. They also just did. Amidst all of that interesting cast of characters, Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so because he was there and because I was in attendance, there is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him. And God forbid, this is the worst, God forbid, I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh my God, cue the meltdowns, guys. They are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, log off, go speak.
This is the gaslighting language that modern women use to try and get you off of the scent of their attractiveness to another man. Go touch grass. I wonder if she told her husband to touch grass.
Speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like, I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was...
Oh, she fucking lied, bro. It's right there. Run it back. She said that she didn't know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show, but you told Piers Morgan that you knew that he was supposed to be at New York Fashion Week. The cap is crazy. Let's run it back.
And stare at the sunshine. Like, I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was first invited and agreed to go. I actually didn't think that he was going to make it after all, because he was literally just in jail in Arizona. But yes, he ended up walking, and obviously I was going to take the opportunity to meet him. After making contact.
Oh, sure. So obviously she's going to take the opportunity to meet him after making content about him. After she said she didn't know he was going to be there. Girl, you knew.
The charge has been upped to a forgery charge. He's not allowed to leave Arizona, which is a big problem for him, Pierce, because he was about to walk in New York Fashion Week. That's some exclusive tea that I have for you.
So that you had the exclusive tea on it that he was supposed to be walking in New York Fashion Week. You thought he couldn't make it because he had these charges that at the end of the day, you knew those charges got dropped because you were on the internet. Get the fuck out of here. We're not going to sit up here and act like you did not know that he was going to make that. Come on. You've been following his every move. You are obsessed with this guy. Multiple videos on this guy. You knew about it, honey.
Interesting cast of characters. Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so because he was there and because
he's the most viral moment of the night, guys, notice the language. This guy is put up on a pedestal in her mind.
I was in attendance. There is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him. And God forbid, this is the worst, God forbid, I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh.
Which you shouldn't have after he said he was gonna pelvics smash you, give you a recessed butthole. He said your husband was going to be in the cuck chair watching. He was going to cuck max your husband. He was going to steal you from your husband. I mean, what the hell? Of course you shouldn't have spoken to this man.
My God, cue the meltdowns, guys. They are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, log off, go speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story, I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was—
Oh, so you didn't know he was going to be, I mean, come on. Come on. You knew he was going to be there. Stop it. You saw the charges everybody saw the charges got dropped on Twitter. So you were probably, at first you saw him get arrested and you were like, oh, I'm not going to be able to meet him at Fashion Week. And then he gets released, all charges drop. You're like, oh my God, this nigga has pull. He has aura. I can't wait to see him at Fashion Week. That's why you had to meet him. And that's why you had to put on a full beat on your face. Like, stop this. Brett, stop it. We see through the bullshit. You knew he was going to be there. You told your audience that you didn't know he was going to be there. Stop the cap. Okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Brett Cooper dug herself into a hole when it comes to this clavicular situation. And I mean, it's not a good look, especially for her husband. The way that he's disrespected her husband, the way that he has disrespected her, the vulgarity, the sexual innuendos, the sexual passes, and she still went to go meet him and was so excited to meet. I mean, come on. But anyways, I'm going to read some of these comments, then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So Just Pearly Thing said her baby was in the room. Fairly sure her husband was too. The baby is confirmed. And D-Man Sammy says she's literally a boss babe acting like she's not like the other girls. LOL. Pearl says the editor of the magazine said that her baby was in the room as a way to defend her. And then Tyler Chernisky says she probably wants him sexually as well. D-Man Sammy says Becky does a lot of drugs too. Cap. JB Designer says conservative cuck maxing at its finest. Stall Jans says desperate need for online attention. Yeah, Brett, look in the mirror. D-Man Sammy says she's doing the same thing she would accuse Fresh and Fit of doing in exposing their audience to the type of people they preach to stay away from her. Exactly. Her audience of women are gonna follow him because they're into him. Exactly. So she's doing the same thing. She's saying, oh, well, nobody should follow him. Nobody should look after him. Nobody should go and but you're making video after video after video and exposing your audience to him. And guess what your audience is going to go do? The men are going to go say, hey, why is Brett the love of my life, the ideal girl that I believe, all you trad conservative cucks, the ideal girl that I believe is so pure. Why does she talk about him so much? And then the men are going to go look at him, and the women are going to be like, who's this hot guy that she has in the thumbnail? That's what it's not even going to go deeper than that. It's going to be, oh, who's this? Oh my God, he's so disgusting. Where can I follow him? That's the women's mindset. The average in-shape bro with a beard makes clavicular irrelevant in any setting. That's what's hilarious about it. I don't know, man. I mean, when you add on the clout, the social media clout, it's gonna be pretty tough. It's gonna be pretty tough. Stalljan says, I am hockey and I never heard of Clit Guy till Brett's stunt. Exactly. Proving the point. MR Heel says, JB, they don't want to hear that truth. He also says she spitting a bunch of word salad. That's or where's the Italian dressing? JB says the bone glizzy smashing shit is wild to me. D-Man says she really said I'm not always a status, but when I am, it's for the kids. Mr. Hill says, I just can't digest having my legs broken just to add a few inches of height. I got what I got. If women don't want you here, go where you're the most have product. JB says, that's insane. DM Sammy says, she a little girl for real. Stalljan says, someone send this to her husband, LOL. Let him figure it out as fast as he can to protect himself from her new fantasy that will for sure ruin their marriage. D-Man 70 says, we knew it. Style Jan says, Brett is a liar. D-Man says, you've been helping him have this huge moment with your coverage. Exactly. D-Man said, got him. After we exposed Brett for lying. She been following his jail troubles. She knew they were dropped. Exactly. Truly Godson says facts. And then Style Jones says she knew he was going to be there. There's no way she did not. Look how happy she is. Exactly. Truly Godson says it's also sad, to be honest. Imagine the impact a repentant heart would have in the public eye, showing everyone how truly repentant for offending those who love you. Yeah. So, woo, Brett is in some deep doo-doo because we did find her to be lying. And you know, the person that I feel worse for, and it's hard for me to feel bad for some of these beta cucks out here, but the person that I feel worse for about this is her husband. Okay. Alex Tomble. Notice how she didn't take his last name either. She still goes by Brett Cooper, not Brett Tomble, wherever the fuck that means. So it's not looking good for Alex here. It's not looking good for Alex. Brett done chose up on another man. He obviously is getting mogged by Clavicular. And I mean, this dude, he is definitely just a square all the way around. Square dude. Is, you know, Brett aroused by him? Probably not. And that's why she's taken so much interest in Clavicular. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship requested email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp so I know you're paying your ties, man. Y'all need to be in your mark freaking with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.